Hey, is it possible this picture shows a real-life guy who looks like our favorite superhero plumber, Mario from the Mario Brothers? Or are we just looking at another AI fake? And what about this picture of a giant oarfish? Is that real or AI? I've got the answer to those possible deep fakes, plus a look at this picture, which claims to show the Pope talking to like 1 million kids in Portugal. So don't go anywhere. Hey guys, Bill here. By this time, I think just about everybody's heard about AI, right? It stands for artificial intelligence and comes from powerful computers filled up with so much information they can create things on their own, like school papers, stories, poems, songs, and even pictures. Now, some of these pictures look more like art than reality, but in other cases, it can create pictures that look so real, it's very hard to tell if they are fake or not. So today I thought it might be fun to take a look at a few pictures and see if you can tell the difference between what's real and what's AI. I'm also going to be discussing a couple very simple techniques we can all use to be better at spotting AI fakes. Our first picture today comes to us from King Will's Adventures and claims to show a picture of a guy who looks like a real-life Mario. King, when I first saw this picture, I was like, oh, come on, that's an AI job. I mean, you know, it just has that look, doesn't it? But then, on the other hand, you know, when I really sat down and say, can you prove this is real or fake? Well, was a different story. So let's do a little investigation, shall we? The first thing I like to do is just blow the picture up as big as possible and go over the details. In this case, this young man does look like Mario, all right, but I think it's mostly by the fact that he has on Mario-type clothes. You know, the overalls, the reddish shirt, and of course, the red hat. He also has a mustache like Mario. So at this point, you know, I think it could be something cooked up by AI. But on the other hand, it could be a guy who is just a big fan of Mario Brothers and just dressed himself up that way to make himself look like Mario. Okay, so what do you guys think? If you think that is a real human being in that picture and maybe he just dressed himself up to look more like Mario, well, we're going to go with real if that's the case. On the other hand, if you think it was a computer, aka AI, that cooked up the entire image and that is not a real human being in the picture, well, then you go with fake. And as usual, if you think I don't have a solid smoking gun answer, then we go with the dreaded unknown. So let's take another good look at the picture, and I'll be back in just a few with the official answer right here. Hey, while everybody's making up their mind about that Mario guy, what do you say we take a look at a couple other real or AI submissions that came in? Jack Rawalt sent in this picture of a giant oarfish and wants to know if it's an AI fake or not. Jack, that picture is pretty amazing. As I take a closer look, I see something that might give away the fact that it's an AI fake, and that is because there is a possible error in the photo. AI sometimes makes mistakes in a picture, like errors, you know, put something in there that shouldn't be in there or doesn't put something in there that should be there. And if we can spot these mistakes, then we can nail it for being fake. In this case, do you see what might be a huge mistake? It's right here. For some unknown reason, this giant fish has a big hole in it, but it doesn't seem to bother the fish. Now that is what I call a red flag. But hold on a second. Here's the other thing. If you jump to conclusions too quickly, well, you can make mistakes, as in, if you call this picture an AI fake, that would be a mistake. You know why? Because it is real. Doing some text searches across the internet, I was able to find the video this picture comes from, and while AI can create fake videos, this one was confirmed by ABC News as real.
It was dotted with what appear to be giant bite marks. Now, the oarfish is known as a messenger from the sea god's palace. It's gained a reputation as a doomsday harbinger of sorts. Local legend claims the oarfish appears just before natural disasters like tsunamis or earthquakes.
Next up is this picture sent in by Paul Thatcher showing what appears to be the Pope speaking to a humongous crowd of followers. Paul, I don't know what made you suspicious about this one. I mean, I've seen hundreds of pictures of the Pope addressing large crowds, so looks pretty ordinary to me, and I don't know why anybody would make something like that up anyway. But here's the real deal. The fish we looked at, well, yeah, that was real. But this Pope? AI fake-orama. According to fact-checking website Full Fact, the Pope did visit Portugal for its annual Youth Day, but the picture is not real. It was created by an X account that admits that it was made with AI. But here's the thing. The fact that they admitted it did not stop it from spreading all over social media as the real deal. Just look at this. All these people thought it was real, and that includes news outlets. If they would have spent some time examining the picture before they reposted it, they would see the Pope, well, this picture has a big error. It made the Pope have only 3 fingers on one of his hands, and well, that's just not true.
Say what?
All right, now that we know it's harder than ever to tell what's real and what's fake out there, what do you say we get back to our Mario man and find out if he's a real guy who dressed up like Mario and maybe even put on a mustache, or he's a computer-generated fake? Or he could be unknown. Let's check this out. Let's hope it's not unknown. You know how much I hate those. The unknown is not the world I want to live in. I like my trips to go to places unknown, but not my answers here. And, okay, well, what do you think? You think you got it right? Okay, well, let me tell you this. Based on what I just read, if you said fake, well, turns out you are 100% right. One of the ways I determine whether the picture is fake or not is to do a reverse image lookup on it. And whenever the system says there are no other copies of it out there on the internet, I know that means it's fake. I mean, a lot of times, like with the Pope, the reverse image will show other copies, so that makes it more difficult to prove it's fake this way. But when there are no copies, as is the case with Mario Man here, well, then we know for certain it's fake. So bottom line, guys, when it comes to social media, I know it's really hard picking out which pictures are real and which ones are fake, but if you stop, think, and take a closer look at the picture, you're gonna do a lot better. And most importantly, use reverse image lookup, because once you do that a couple of times, you're gonna be able to develop an eye for spotting fakes. In other words, as soon as you see it, you're gonna be suspicious, and then you have your tools to look it up and prove that it's a fake or it's real or whatever. And believe me, with skills like that, you are really going to impress your friends. Hey, before I go today, I just want to show you this fun piece of fan art that came in. It was sent in by SC64, who just said he likes my real or fake videos and sent me this as a show of appreciation. Well, thank you, SC64. I am really honored. I mean, that's a really fun piece and one of my new favorites. Hey, don't go away just yet. There are a whole lot more real or fakes you can look at. Just go ahead and click on one.